So it's the 26th of February today, and Noe went back yesterday. So I have now kind of got my freedom back, although of course what I've got to do now is settle back into another lifestyle. So that's interesting, but I wanted to, I've been planning to go to my normal kind of pub retreat once she went back, so I could just go over everything that had happened, because I didn't shoot any video. So let me just make sure the bike is all put away. Okay, I've got all my stuff. So once again, I haven't got the gimbal. I'm just using this stabilized lens, and I've left the bike an easy park away, so I'm not gonna faff around trying to park near the pub. I can always get parking down here, and the chances are I'm not going to encounter any police on the way back, because they don't stop people on my route out of town. So anyway, that's the plan. It could all change. So anyway, here we are in Patong again. Yeah, when I first came here, it was largely Swedish and German, Austrian, that kind of thing. But now they're vastly outnumbered. So anyway, I've had my rant. So I'll meet you again inside the pub. Cheers for now. I'm sure you're getting pissed off with me going on about my camera settings. I should be talking about me or you. So Noe went back yesterday evening, so I spent the first night alone for a month, and now I'm kind of racked with guilt, you know, and I've spent the last month being racked with guilt. Like, I got Noe in the house, and sometimes I had her daughter Poi. You may have seen some photographs of us together. So just constantly racked with guilt, because I'm so used to being alone. Like, if I want to watch the TV, I watch what I want to watch, and they're not in the slightest bit interested in my geeky pursuits. Like, when I watch TV, I watch old cars and boats being fixed and things, you know. They're not interested in that. So I think to myself, okay, I'll just surrender this and say, okay, you watch what you want to watch, and it's usually a dodgy movie, and I've got to find it for them because they don't know how to use the TV. All the while, of course, my impatience is kind of building up, so I've got to keep a lid on that. And when I get something they want to watch, I sit there for a while, and with the best will in the world, I just sneak off into the bedroom where I've got my own computer set up so I can watch stuff, and I watch it in there, and then I feel guilty about that. So either way, I lose, you know. I'm just not designed, after all these years, I'm just not designed to live with other people. It's as simple as that. And this has just brought it home so clearly to me. However, I held it all together for a month, and there were no arguments, there was no nothing, and I hope she enjoyed the time she spent with me. And I kind of enjoyed the time I spent with her, and now I'm feeling guilty because she's gone and I don't have her anymore, you know. And what more could I have done? Now, before you ever see this video when I finish it, you'll have to go back a month to me talking, I believe, in this very spot the day before she arrived, you know, my last day of freedom. So I haven't even edited that. I've shot no videos over this last month. You know, a couple of little clips on my iPhone, but and one or two photos, but you know, nothing that I can make into a video and post. So I've got one, maybe two videos worth to post, and then I get round to this one with me alone again. So that is what's coming next. So of course what I've got to do now is to reorganize my life again and pick up where I left off. I had quite a good routine going, which shouldn't be too difficult to recreate. You know, going out, getting the right food for the, for the day or the couple of days, where to go to get some exercise, what else to do. You know, you think this should be utopia here. I'm living in a place with gorgeous beaches and everything. Why don't you just go and lay on the beach and whatever? Well, a couple of reasons really. 3 I can think of. Number 1, there's hardly any room. Number 2, I'm going to get burned to hell if I stay on the beach. Number 3, I don't want to be cheek by jowl with a load of bloody Russians. But anyway, you already know I don't like crowds, I don't like people around me anyway. So there are other beaches than Patong where you can lay down and chill out, but finding somewhere to park the car and do this and that, you know, it's just overcrowded, and I don't want to burn. That's the overriding thing. So I don't spend much time on the beach anymore. Shame, but there we are. So what else have I got to say then? Well, nothing much. Over the course of this last month I got my old cooker ripped out and taken away. God, that was a disgusting mess under there. I was just dreading even seeing it. So I made sure I was out of the house when they came around to rip it out, but I was there when Noe actually volunteered to clean it all up. You know, it took her hours to get rid of all the dead cockroaches and lizards and grease, and oh, it's just disgusting. I hate cookers, you know. I bloody, whatever you do, you cannot keep the oil and the grease and the shit from percolating down through the joins. You know, oh, they're horrible things. I hate them. But anyway, that was a good thing, getting the power sorted out in the kitchen again and being able to use the shower without being fear of electrocuted. Oh, tie wiring, oh my God. Anyway, so that's done. At some point I've got to get someone in to build a new cupboard underneath where the hob is. That is still open, but it's clean, and I don't care as long as it's clean. I don't mind. It's not a harbour for cockroaches anymore. You know, he said living in Thailand, you've got to be aware of livestock. You know what might be lurking in your kitchen. If you live in a cold country, you probably don't even think about it. But if you live in a hot country, there's always stuff lurking there that you better make sure that it doesn't. So what have I learned on this last month's incarceration? Well, probably what I knew already, the value of family. I love the way that Thai families anyway stick together and they help each other and whatever. And to a certain extent I do get the benefit of that, because you know, they accept that I'm part of the family and they help me. If I ask for help, they will help me. What is difficult for them to figure out is that I'm a person that doesn't normally want help and would rather just be left alone under normal circumstances, you know. If anyone wants to come around and say hi, blah blah blah, they're more than welcome, but just don't stay too long. But they never do that anyway. And when Noe's here, they can just, they come and go as they please. But even then, it isn't horrendous. I always had fears of being surrounded by dozens and dozens of family members and whatever, but no, that's never been the case. Knock on wood. There are, most British people are kind of like me, I think. This is my house, and I don't want my brothers and sisters and whatever coming around and being there all the time and borrowing my this, borrowing my that, and whatever. But for Thai people, that's perfectly normal. Like my first morning of freedom was this morning, and I was walking around in my dressing gown, and sure enough, Tam and Poi turned up and asked if they could borrow my car, because Noe's sister and her husband, who live in Sweden as well, they're still here, but the battery on their car had gone flat. So, can I please borrow your car? Yeah, sure, take it. No problem. It's a laugh a minute, I tell you. So, what's next for me? Well, just try to get back into the old routine for a while. I've got to plan a trip back to the US sometime. Another thing, another major thing, I'm in the process of writing my will, which needs to be done, because if I snuff it while I'm out here, obviously Noe has got to get access to my, my pensions and my bank accounts and all that kind of stuff. So we found someone that will do that, in the process of editing that will now. So it's a bit of it's funny, really. I never thought, obviously, I'd ever be in this position where my own demise is approaching. Obviously it is. So you have to face it. Like, what happens to me? Well, I wrote into the will that actually I prefer to be buried in my own tradition, but no, I wrote in that they can cremate me, but they've got to put my ashes in their family memorial in her hometown with the rest of her family. And that was what they were going to do anyway, they said. But anyway, get to that stage, you could just chuck me in a ditch, I suppose. But let's look on the positive side. So anyway, that was another thing that got sorted out this time. I still got to sign the papers. Of course, it's hot as hell here now. Every day, really. Actually, last night after Noe went to the airport, it rained, but not for long, only for about 15 minutes. About a week before that, we went through 3 days where every night it rained quite heavily, so that was a relief. But we don't get much rain at this time of the year, and we need it, only to stretch out the water supplies in the reservoirs, but also because it cools the bloody place down. Oh my God, I'm talking about cooling the bloody place down. What the hell's my electricity bill going to be like this coming month? You know, I've had 2/3 air conditioners running, whereas when there's only me here, I make sure only one ever runs at a time. Oh my God, what's it going to be like? It's going to be horrendous. Anyway, that's the way it goes. But this trip of noise cost me a lot of money. Don't want to go into it really, but what I don't understand is how she can travel. She's got a visa, fine, but how can she travel from Thailand into Sweden with a one-way ticket? Because if she had a visa to go to America to see me, or Britain, if she only had a one-way ticket, they wouldn't let her in. How can she get in the country in Sweden with a one-way ticket? Which means she's got no way to get back, to come here. So her nephew, Tom, who's also travelling back, and he stayed with me here, he bought her return ticket to get back here. So she got back fine, but now then she had no way of getting back to Sweden again. So I got stiffed with that bill. You know, a huge amount of money. It's over $1,000. But I don't know how they can do it. Like, Sweden is part of the European Union, I think. But how can she fill up her suitcases with rancid dried fish and rancid fish products and all sorts of horrible East End food and bring it into the country? I know for a fact that if she tried that in America, she'd be locked up, she'd go to jail. But they seem to get away with it. I just do not understand. I mean, she went back with 30 kilos of luggage, and you know, if I've still got the photo, I'll add it here. But that 30 kilos of luggage, about 25 kilos of it was rancid fish. Oh, Jesus H. Christ, I don't know how they get away with it. Well, the beauty of this place, for me, one of the reasons I like it, is that it's dark in here, and the air conditioning is running, and it's cool. It's dark and cool as opposed to the blast of sunlight and heat that I can see out of that front door right now. Believe me, this is a refuge on a red hot sunny day. I'm surprised more people don't use it during the day. I'm sure this place right now is blasting at night, but in the day there's hardly anyone in here really. So it's strange, but also the people that tend to come in here are more my own kind. If there are any Brits in town, then they come in, you know, Australians. I tried to say it's a Russian-free zone, but there's a Russian couple over my left shoulder there. But they're pretty rare. They don't frequent Irish bars all that much. It's mainly the Brits and the Aussies that come into Irish pubs. So I feel as though if there are any of my kind in town, then they're gonna be in here. And unlike most of the other Irish pubs in town, this one is owned by fucking Indians. So it's owned by a Brit actually. So that's good enough for me. I'm also looking forward and hoping that when the restaurant section of Jung Silong, big shopping mall over there, finally opens soon, that you know, my favourite Irish pub, the Irish Times, which is owned actually by Irish people, will still be there. And mean, they've been closed for the best part of 3 years now, so whether they've toughed it out and still willing to carry on, you know, I don't know. Obviously, they've not had to pay any money all the while the mall itself was preventing them from running a business. But I'm sure they're going to have to pay at least some money to bring the place to life again. But anyway, I really hope that they go back, because they just had a superb Sunday buffet there. Anyway, we'll soon know. Well, I had big plans for my video improvements on this channel. I wanted to invest in some lighting so I could do some better stuff inside the house, you know, announcements and things. Partly to take the place of what I do here, because I don't want to come down here and spend 500 baht on beer every time I want to make a video. You know, that's not quite what I want to do. So I had some lighting mapped out and whatever, but it all had to be put on hold because of Noe coming back, and I had to spend so much money, you know, paying for her ticket and paying for the extra food and the electricity required. Well, you know, I don't begrudge that. Obviously, it's just a given. Then I had to buy her clothes to go back with and whatever. You know, she's my girlfriend. What do you expect me to do? So, obviously, the credit card purchases for the technical equipment has had to be somewhat put on hold for a while. But over the next month or two, I'll start to dribble out a bit more of it. I think the next thing I want to do is get a little bit of lighting for the house, and so we'll see how that goes. Well, I don't have much else to report today right now, so I think I'm going to sign off unless some light bulb moment goes off in my head. I'm here going through my social media, talking to people back in my old hometown and whatever. Not all of it is pleasant, but anyway, here we are, a fine hot day in Phuket. So, best wishes. See you soon.